Hi, my name's Oliver from Ocean Hunter, and today I'm going to be showing you how to rig a gun from scratch. So firstly, you've got to make sure you've got all the correct equipment. So first, your gun of choice. Today we're using the Snapper 110 by Freedivers, and we're going to be rigging it with a single 6.5mm shaft, 16mm rubber, and we're going to be using a DIY Wishbone setup. So to begin, we're going to be starting with making a rubber. So for a 110 gun, we need to cut the 16mm rubber to 700mm. On our website, we have a table which will show you what length to cut your rubber to, whether you're going to have a single setup or a double setup. So, once you've cut your rubber to your specific length, you're going to grab your wishbone and you're going to secure it in something. I like to use a vice. And to help get the wishbone into the rubber, we're going to use some kind of lubricant. I use a little bit of silicone spray, but you can just use dishwashing liquid as well. And you want to push down and ensure that the wishbone is in the rubber. Now we do the same for the other end. Once your wishbone is in, we now need to secure the wishbones by tying a clove hitch or constrictor knot. So we're going to cut a section of some constrictor cord, which is just a thick style Dyneema. And to tie the clove hitch onto the rubber, we're going to secure one end of the rope onto a table or into a vice. And now we're going to tie a clove hitch onto the rubber. Now you're going to gently pull tight, and then you're going to repeat for the other end as well. Once you've gently tightened the knots, you're going to tie another knot or loop at the other end so we can properly tighten the knots. And we're going to do this by using a fair bit of strength to pull the knots and set them in to ensure the wishbone doesn't come out. Now from here, we want to cut the excess rope off. So we cut a couple of millimeters away from the clove hitch on both ends of the rubber. Now from here, we're going to burn these ends to ensure that they don't come undone. You can also do it with a lighter. Now we've completed our rubber. Now we want to put it onto the gun. And we do this by stretching and pulling the rubber into this top slot here. And now we want to ensure that the rubber is even on both sides before we put it into the second side slots. And to do this, all you have to do is pull down and put some weight on it. And there you go, the rubber is now on the gun. Next, we're going to rig the shaft onto the gun. To start, we're going to need a gun bungee, and this attaches to the muzzle of the gun through a loop. And you just pull it through itself to attach it to the gun. To rig the shaft onto the gun, we need to start at the end of the shaft which goes into the handle. So to do this, we're going to place the crimp onto our 500-pound mono, and we're going to create a loop through here, and it comes back on itself. We need to position this loop just below the first notch of the shaft. And we're going to use our crimping tool to secure the crimp. And then we're going to cut any excess mono off the end. Now we're going to feed the mono, which is attached to the shaft, into the gun. You need to ensure that the crimp is on the top side, so the same side as the notch, and you're going to push this until you feel it click and it's secure into the gun. Now from here, we're going to run the mono down to the line release, and then all the way back up to where the gun bungee is. Here, we're going to cut just above the metal part of the gun bungee to give us some extra room. And now we're going to secure the last end of the shaft. And to do this, we need to put another crimp on. Create a loop. And now we need a little bit of tension. So we want roughly 10% stretch of this bungee to keep our line tight. From here, we're just going to crimp it again to ensure our loop stays, and then cut excess. And that is how you rig a gun from scratch. Now you're ready to go shoot some fish. Cheers.